Welcome to today's Coach's Corner. I'm Mike Van Hoozer. Do you ever wonder why you can't perform at your best when it matters most? Maybe you don't have that problem, but I think a lot of people struggle with that, and they wonder, why am I not performing at my best? Or why do I get inside my head? Or why do I get in the way of performing at my best when it matters most? And I think there's a couple of things that we see when we work with high performers and high potentials in sports, business, and life. And I want to share some of those thoughts with you today. And I think there's one central theme of today's message on the Coach's Corner, and it's thoughts can lead to actions that lead to your best performance. And so performance is just one thought away, and it's thinking about, well, what are those thoughts I should be thinking? So let's get right into 3 things that can help you perform at your best when it matters most. And the first thing is auditing your thoughts. And so I think we have to do a thought audit. It's really thinking about the words that you feed your mind. And so a lot of times I'll talk to an athlete and, they may be saying, well, tomorrow I'm just going to worry about that. And automatically they're using a negative word and worry. And I know what they mean, but I think that they have to do a replacement of that thought. And we'll talk about that in the next step, but to think about what's a better word to use. And in doing a thought audit, you need to think about the vocabulary that you're using and what you're feeding your mind. Are you constantly talking about fear or worry or doubt, or using words like that to describe your performance or what your thoughts are going into a performance? Are you thinking about anxiety? Are you thinking about things that you can't do and all of those other things that can cloud our mind and distract us from what we need to do? And so doing a thought audit is really looking at what are those limiting beliefs. And basically a limiting belief is any belief that limits you from maximizing your potential or achieving your goals. You need to think about what are those beliefs that are limiting me from accomplishing the things I want to accomplish and maximizing my best performance. And so doing a thought audit can help with that. And basically you're listing out all of the negative thoughts or those thoughts that you shouldn't be thinking, and then thinking about the things that you need to replace those with, which leads us to the second step. We need to alter our thoughts. And so not repressing those thoughts, but replacing those with better thoughts is very important. And again, this isn't just thinking of fluffy thoughts or what we call cotton candy thoughts of you're special and those kinds of things. Those are good thoughts. But we need to think about what we call trigger or activating phrases. These are based on conquering truths and thinking about using that same word of fear to think about what's the opposite of fear? It's faith. What would be the opposite of worry? Focus would be a great word to replace that with. And so instead of saying, tomorrow I'm going to worry about this, say, well, tomorrow I'm going to focus on this. And again, usually you're focusing on the opposite of what you might be worrying about. And so it's really important to think about how can I alter my thoughts and prepare for that performance. And again, it could be in sports. We use this in sports all the time, but it could be in a client meeting or something like that. Tomorrow I'm just going to focus on engaging with the client instead of I'm going to worry if I'm going to be accepted by the client. In sports, it might be tomorrow, instead of saying tomorrow I'm going to worry, about the opponents and how fast they are, how big they are. Tomorrow I'm going to focus on playing my best game and playing our game and seeing what that leads to. And so focusing on playing your game, whatever that might be, again, in sports, business, or life is really important. And the second step can help with that because it's altering our thoughts and what we think about. And then that leads us to the third phrase. So once we've done a thought audit, we've replaced those thoughts with the thoughts that are going to be conquering truths that are going to conquer those limiting beliefs. We have to activate those thoughts. So the third step is activate your thoughts. What does that mean? That means to basically go out and trust those thoughts. When we're working with golfers, and it's a great example for any other example you might face in life, we actually help them prepare on when they would use and replace that worry thought, that thought of fear, with a conquering truth. And it may be in their pre-shot routine. So they think about what they want to do. They picture the shot they want to hit in their minds. And as they're walking up to the golf ball, they speak that word in their mind of the conquering truth. And so that's when they're actually activating that trigger phrase for them to trust your shot or be athletic or follow through. And those are thoughts that we may have worked on in practice so that when they're in performance, when it's on game day, when it's match day, and they're walking up to that golf ball, they can walk up to that shot with confidence, knowing that they've pictured the shot that they want to hit, and they're focusing and concentrating on the thought and the swing thought that they want to have as they're hitting that shot, to be able to hit that shot with confidence. And so that moment of walking up to the golf ball and standing over that golf ball with confidence allows them to perform their best in that moment and hit the best shot. Now, again, there's some techniques and other things that might come into play. It doesn't mean that they're going to be guaranteed success, because the ball may go to the right, it may go in the sand trap, it may go in different places, and they may hit a shot they don't expect to hit. But this is going to prepare them to put them in a position of success, and most of the time it's going to work out well for them. And it's the same in life, in other areas of life, that if we're altering those thoughts and we're activating those thoughts before we step into that client meeting, or before we have a conversation with our son or daughter about something that we need to really invest and breathe truth into their lives, then we're going to be able to pray for that confidence, to be able to activate that truth, whatever we're thinking about, that's going to help us to be our best, to lead our best in that situation. And so these are 3 tips, I think, that can help you in any aspect of life. And I really want you to think about wherever you are today, in whatever you're thinking about, whatever role, whether it be a role in sports, a role in business, or a role in life, to think about the thought audit that you need to do, altering those thoughts, those limiting beliefs to conquering truths, and then activating those truths, living those out, trusting them in the moment to be able to help you to perform at your best. Again, performance is one thought away, and you may be carrying doubt and fear and anxiety and negative thoughts into those, but you need to walk in trust and faith and confidence today, knowing that there's a purpose for you and knowing that you have strengths, talents, and gifts, and this opportunity of today will allow you to perform at your best and make a meaningful impact with your life. So, as always, make the most of the moments of your life and think great thoughts and trust those thoughts today and every day.